Hey guys, so a question I get a lot is how should you set up your spawning tank? So I decided since it's been raining and raining all day that I would throw a pair in a spawn tank, so I wanted to get it on video and show you what I do. This is a 5-gallon tank. As you can see, it's about half full, maybe a little bit less. And then if I zoom in, you'll see there's a little bit of mulm in the bottom. I leave the mulm in for the most part because it will harbor microorganisms that the fry can eat when they're very small. Also a heater, which you can see is set to about 84. And way in the back is a sponge filter, and you can see that the sponge filter is bubbling. A lot of times people tell you can have a sponge filter but don't have it turned on because the fry will get knocked around or it'll ruin the bubble nest or whatnot. But you can see that bubble is going pretty well, and you can see how still it is because I have the output pointed toward the back wall. So there's almost no current in this tank, but I'm still getting a decent amount of air going through, pulling water through that sponge filter. You can also see I have some guppy grass in here. I have a little baby pot of Vallisneria, which is just something new I'm trying, and then duckweed, and then a little bit of Indian almond leaf. I also have baby ram's horn snails in here, which are what those little things are. And I find the ram's horn snails are really beneficial for helping with uneaten food. So a lot of times you'll hear that you shouldn't feed microworms because microworms cause missing ventrals in betta fry. And I've never had a single spawn where I've had a fish missing its ventral fins from feeding microworms. And I think the reason is because I use these snails and they eat any uneaten food. I think the reason people get missing ventrals is because when the microworms are not eaten, they foul the water and they grow bacteria, which causes missing ventral fins. No one really knows why that happens, but that's just my theory because I've never had them and I use snails, whereas a lot of people, they don't like to keep snails in their tank. They think snails are bad. So how I go about introducing my pair is very simple. I just chuck them both in. And right now it's about 9 o'clock. My lights are all on a timer and they go out at 10 o'clock. So it's about an hour before, and I'm going to go ahead and toss them in. See if I can do it without putting the phone down. I'll just pour them in there. Whoop. He jumped out. I'm going to grab him out. And in he goes. This male I tried to spawn before a few weeks ago, so you can see his last girlfriend gave him a bit of a haircut. But that's okay because less fins makes it easier on him to spawn. And so now we'll pour the girl out. As you can see, Bella's helping. Bella, don't drink the fish water. I'll go ahead and grab her out. I don't use a lot of nets. I find it's much easier on the fish just to use my hands. Oops. Of course, now that I'm trying to get it on video, they're not going to cooperate. Alright, just plop her in. As you can see, no net, no jar, anything like that. I just put them in together. These guys haven't seen each other before. I haven't put their jars next to each other and let them get acquainted. I just keep them on their shelf. I keep my boys on one shelf and my girls on another, and when I want to spawn them, I just pick a pair and I stick them in the tank. Hey, pretty boy. Oh, my phone not gonna focus. For a nest site, I hope this will focus. You can't see it very well because of the glare, but I have a little piece of bubble wrap. It's only about like 2 inches square, and it's sitting under this piece of almond leaf. And that's where the male will build his nest. And these guys are gonna swim around and check out the tank. Eventually the male is gonna realize that there's a girl in there and he'll start chasing her. You might notice his belly's a little bit big. I always give them a big meal right before I spawn them. So he got a big meal of bloodworms earlier today, and now he's already digging up the mulm looking for more food. And this is, as you can see, this tank's pretty bare. I don't like to put a lot of plants in there when the pair is first introduced. The only hiding spots I really use are the sponge filter and the heater, and I find that's enough. You can see now they're going to start flirting. Oh, sorry about the glare. And you can see she's quite eggy and she's flaring at him. Oops, sorry about that. So she's ready to go. And so they'll chase each other and he'll start building his bubble nest and the lights will go out, and for the most part they'll go to sleep. They aren't really very active when it's dark. And then in the morning I usually get them spawning the next day within about maybe 2 hours of the lights turning on. My lights turn on pretty late. They turn on around noon because I keep them on so late because I'm not usually here in the morning to mess with the fish, so I have them on later rather than earlier. Okay, I paused it to see if I could get less glare, but I can't seem to figure out how to get this to focus without having the glare. My light is zip tied above the tank, so it's kind of hard to not have it bouncing and reflecting off the glass. But you should, when you're looking at a breeding pair, you should see this behavior. Your female should be flirting with the male. She shouldn't be hiding. She shouldn't be clamped. She should be flaring and checking him out as much as he's doing the same with her. And you'll notice with her, she's not scared of him at all. This female's bred a couple times before with a different male. And all my females are kept the exact same way as my males, so they're carded. And they can see their neighbors. I usually leave about 1 inch of room so that they can see their neighbors and flare if they want to. But I find that if you don't keep your fish carded, it makes it harder for them to breed in my experience. I find they become more placid and they're less likely to spawn. They just end up being roommates in the tank. So I like to see this kind of aggressive behavior and posturing with my breeding pairs. For those that don't know their fish types, these are red half moons. And like I said, the male's fins were damaged in the last spawn attempt, but all their fry should be exactly like them. And both of them have very excellent form, so I'm excited and hopeful that they spawn and produce a good number of fry for me so I can send them to shows. Okay, we're gonna leave them be. And if they spawn, I'll try to catch it tomorrow and film that for you guys. An update on, you know, what I do with removing the female and feeding the fry and all that good stuff. I have some more pairs that I'll be spawning soon too, so hopefully there'll be a lot of opportunity to post some more videos. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching.